I think The Matrix was like a decent movie, right? It's not nothing like that was like, man, like this is next level. Kelly got pregnant, you know. Freaking Molly got married, you know. Lawrence and Issa got back together, which something I was not expecting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it shows that, you know, time can technically heal all or whatever. Like, Clint, he tired of fighting, bro. He really is. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he just gotta handle his business. But to find out that, you know, not only we were gonna get a Kate Bishop versus Kingpin fight, but also we're finally gonna get our Yelena versus Clint Barton fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I was like, okay, yeah, this is finna be a tough episode, bro. Alright, y'all, so I figured, you know, since it's been a little minute, you know what I'm saying? No intro today. We just gonna get straight into it because, you know, your boy, I ain't been slacking, but I've been slacking, you know? And it's weird to say that because, like, for the amount of content that I put out this year alone, you know, it's probably like the most I've ever done. And then also just, you know, with the holidays and just how crazy December is in general, it's been a wild month, right? So I'm excited to get back to some type of normalcy. You know what I'm saying? We still got, like, you know, one holiday left, but this is the last episode of the podcast for this year. Like, this is the last podcast, bro. And, you know, as exciting to think about it, like, as like, yo, like, you know, we done did an episode every week pretty much since we done started. It's crazy to think back now and be like, yo, like, yeah, like, damn, we've been doing this for almost a whole year, bruh. Like, you know, like, we're only 48 episodes in, so it's like, you know, in a few weeks that'll make a whole year worth of content, you know. And I'll get more into that in the filler arc this week, but I'm excited for this episode because I'm feeling better. You know what I'm saying? That booster had your boy down bad, but, you know, your boy is back. And I was just like, man, like, you know, it was the holidays. I'm like, bro, like, I'm gonna just chill out. I'm gonna just not, like, I didn't really upload this week. I mean, I uploaded the podcast and I uploaded my Spider-Man review, but other than that, bro, I haven't talked about anything. So we got a lot to talk about today, and just in real life, just catch up on stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I figured, you know, with having that collab and then having this last episode, let's just, you know what I'm saying, like, leave it off with a bang, you know? Because next year, 2022, bruh, you finna go crazy. Like, I'm super excited for next year, bruh. Super excited because I got a lot of stuff planned. But let's get into this episode, man. Welcome back to the Why I'm Geek show, man. This is episode 48. Episode 48. And this week, bro, I don't got a title. I don't have a title to start things off, but, you know, I definitely do got some news that I want to talk about. So without further ado, let's jump into the news. Alright, so first things first, man. Hawkeye has been one of the shows that, you know, really surprised me, right? And I put a video out on, like, just, you know, how good it is and how everybody needs to watch it, and how, like, now they're making these shows. I mean, not just now, but now that, you know, Marvel is making a lot of these shows canon that aren't necessarily on Disney Plus, the ones that came out on Netflix originally, like Daredevil and stuff like that. Like, it's making so much more continuity and a lot more, you know, relationships and just characters real, like, in a sense, you know, like, they are officially in the Marvel universe. So the first thing I want to talk about is Kingpin, bro. So Kingpin has definitely been confirmed as, like, the same Kingpin from Daredevil, and that whole universe, or whatever you want to call it, the Netflix verse of Marvel. And he said that he is the same, like, character. There's no, like, difference in their origin and things like that. So with that being said, that has me hyped for, you know, Matt Murdock's character of Daredevil in Spider-Man No Way Home, saying that, like, okay, now they're confirming that everything is canon, You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep all the greatness that Daredevil was and Kingpin relationship with him, and just, you know, how good of casting they did for that show. We're gonna keep all that, and it's finna be lit, bro. I think that, you know, just the fact that Kingpin was in Hawkeye and the way that Hawkeye ended, it has me excited to see what New York is really going to have to offer. But I'll talk a little bit more about that in the weekly recap. But I just wanted to talk about that because that's big news, bruh. That's big news. And I felt like it was coming because of the way that, you know, the actor for Kingpin, I can't remember his name for the life of me. I've been thinking, I could see it, but I can't remember what it is. But he confirmed, you know, Charlie Cox getting confirmed as Daredevil for the MCU. And he, you know, congratulated him. And I was just like, okay, yeah, that's a political move. That means Kingpin is on the way, right? Because in Hawkeye, they was talking about the big guy, right? Who else could be the big guy? So that was super dope. Speaking of Spidey and No Way Home, with, you know, Matt Murdock making his first appearance in the MCU in that movie, No Way Home has earned $1 billion worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Like box office or whatever. Like, that's insane. I think it's the highest grossing movie this year already. You know what I'm saying? So that's, like, I knew that was gonna happen. But, you know, I know people that have already seen the movie twice, maybe 3 times. I haven't gone back yet, but, you know, I'm definitely gonna go watch it again, and I'm excited to see it, like, as much as possible. You know, like, I might, like, when that joint come out on whatever, I'm gonna have to cop that junk, because I just need to be able to, like, I'm tired of not being able to just go back and watch my Spideys, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that's freaking dope. And then as far as drops, man, this week we had a lot of not just, you know, finales, but also debuts. So the Matrix Resurrection dropped, Matrix 4, and I'm gonna talk about that later on. But you know, it was, I'm not even gonna say nothing right now. But it officially dropped. I don't know what kind of numbers it's going to do, but, you know, from what I've been hearing, and I mean, I've seen the movie myself, you know, and I have my own thoughts on it. But I'll definitely do a whole review on it. But I will get into it in a weekly recap coming up next. But, you know, we also had the Insecure finale, and we also had the Hawkeye finale, and yeah, bro, it's a lot of things ending this year, bro, and it's sad, bro. But you know what I'm saying? That's how things go. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going, like, just because it ended, don't mean we can't go back and rewatch it. You know, that's the beauty of it, and that's the beauty of streaming. You know, so that's freaking dope. But, you know, that's pretty much it for the news for this week. Let's get into the weekly recap. Alright, y'all, so I know I didn't really talk about anything else other than Spider-Man last week, because it's just like, it was so much that we had to talk about, right? But there were other shows that also went crazy last week and this week, including Hawkeye, bro. Hawkeye, we had the finale for that joint. I didn't realize it was going to be finale this week. I was kind of like taken aback by it, because I was just like, dang, it's already over. Like, this show has taking place over only like a few days. Like, it feels like it's only been like a week, right? But a lot has happened in those few days, and I knew that, you know, it wasn't gonna be a super duper long show initially for like the first season, as far as like how much time passed, because it was very much so Christmas themed. But man, like, from just how they made Hawkeye cool, bruh, and like how they really just exceeded my expectations for this show. I really didn't know what to expect going into it, but, you know, for us to not only get a Kingpin versus Kate fight, right? I was like, dang. I was like, yo, like, I wasn't expecting Kingpin to even fight, honestly. Like, I thought he was kind of going to just stay in the shadows, and maybe that leads us to a second season. I don't know. But, yeah, like, just to see, like, Kate fight Kingpin by herself, right? Like, Kingpin and Clint Barton didn't even see each other the whole time. Like they couldn't be seen, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they just never met this time. So they was talking about each other, you know, but they never met up. But to find out that, you know, not only we were gonna get a Kate Bishop versus Kingpin fight, but also we're finally gonna get our Yelena versus Clint Barton fight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I was like, okay, yeah, this is finna be a tough episode, bro. We also got, you know, some Kate and Yelena moments, which I love, bro. I love both of their characters, and Yelena's just freaking hilarious because she be so serious, but like her accent, and then just like, it's not broken English, but like just the uber proper, you know, way to address somebody is hilarious, bro. And I just love seeing that like throughout, and just seeing their chemistry build over time. And I think just the impact that this episode had on Yelena in general, it has me excited for what we're going to see from her next, specifically because, you know, yes, you know, Natasha Romanoff, you know, Black Widow, is Yelena's older sister, right? But, you know, Yelena and Kate have a special relationship as well. Like, it felt like, you know, like Yelena was finally the big sister. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, Kate could keep up with her, right? Like they were, you know, going toe to toe. They was fighting, but it was like not really trying to fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they was fighting each other, but it's like, man, like come on, like Hawkeye is not who you think he is. Like, come on, just can't you just realize what happened? And Yelena was just like, nah, bro, I need to complete this contract. He done killed my sister, yada yada yada. Like, I don't believe nothing y'all talking about right now because it don't make sense. Y'all don't know her like I do, and it's just like, dang, like. I feel where she's coming from because she wasn't there. And they can't, like, even whenever, you know, Clint was like, you know, you're not going to be able to believe what I'm going to tell you. Like, I get that. Like, it's just like, you know, like, you got to take your licks, you know, because he wasn't really fighting back. Like, he was just not trying to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was not trying, like, he was trying to get through her head, bruh, that, like, it's not his fault. Like, it's his fault, but it's not. You know, she won. So, my fault. But he was just trying to explain to her, like, you can't, like, I tried my best to be the one to sacrifice himself, bruh, but she just beat me to it. So yeah, so like, because Yelena is still going through the grieving process, right? Like, we saw her whole like life flash before her eyes. Not her whole life, but like 5 years flash before her eyes. Like, 1 minute, you know, she's back trying to save the rest of the widows. The next minute, you know, her sister dead, and it's been 5 years, and it's just like, you know, it's a shock, right? What's going on, team? I know you guys are enjoying the video right now, but I want to let you guys know that not only are we making videos like this every day, Monday through Friday here on YouTube, but we're streaming on Twitch. We're having these conversations. I want to see you guys in the chat so we can talk about all this stuff live, man. We got a dope community over there, and I would love you guys to join. So check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. Link is in the description. Yeah, and I'll see y'all in the chat. Back to the video. Once we figured out that Yelena got hired by Kate's mom, right? And found out Kate's mom is really the bad guy, but also she just was stuck between a rock and a hard place. It sucks to see that, like, you know, Kate can never trust her mom again, but it's just like, yo, like, if she didn't do that, where would y'all be at? You know what I'm saying? So it's like a polar opposites of stuff. But this show is interesting to me because it showed a lot of family dynamics, but also like just how heroes are looked at now, especially like the Avengers in society at this point. You know, like everywhere Clint went, for the most part, people recognized him once they actually looked at him, like, yo, you're that guy, right? And he was always trying to shy away from the hero because that's not how he felt on the inside, which is a whole nother take in itself. But overall, bruh, like, this show was great. Where this puts us as far as like the overall universe, didn't really necessarily have a lot of universal bending or like universal like moments where, because this show happened now, we have this. More so it was just an introduction to, new characters and more characters, and bringing about the new Avengers, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I'm looking at it. Like right now, they're building up the new roster because they done lost some people, right? Clint, he tired of fighting, bro. He really is. You know what I'm saying? But he just got to handle his business. But that's pretty much it for Hawkeye. The next thing I want to talk about was The Matrix. The thumbnail for this episode, right? Because over the last week, right, I knew that The Matrix Resurrections was coming out, right? And I've seen The Matrix before, like, not all the way through, but just, when it came on TV, I would watch it. And it was something that, like, I was just, like, never really super into, but I just thought it was cool. And it was just a movie that came out before I was watching movies, for real. But I finally sat down and watched all three of the original ones. And first two was good. You know what I'm saying? Third one, it felt like it just continued to be more of the same. Like, there was not necessarily getting, like, innovative with the story. And I just felt like I kept seeing a lot more of the same stuff. It became a lot less new stuff that, was happening other than Neo's abilities. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, like, they really turned up so much for the third movie as far as, like, what he could do. It's like, at this point, you might as well give him laser vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not much else that he can actually give him that would make things, like, go crazy. So I feel like with this movie, they tried to really go crazy on the narrative, more so than just the spectacle of the Matrix, right? Because it's like, we done seen it all before already. Now, it was cool to see, like, all of the different callbacks to the original movies from just the different programs growing up. To Agent Smith becoming a whole new person, but like the computers actually building a whole nother Matrix, but basically turning what happened in those first three movies into being a video game, and then convincing Neo that this is how it's always been. It's never been real. Like, from a concept standpoint, I think that's pretty good. Right? But where things get wonky is when they stop explaining stuff. They try to leave stuff up to interpretation and leave you with that feeling of, like, you make your own decision as a, what's good, Shamar? Using your own judgment on, like, what you think. But I think The Matrix was, like, a decent movie, right? It's not nothing like that was like, man, like, this is next level. Merry belated Christmas, right? Facts. Same to you. But yeah, like, The Matrix Resurrections, like, the name of it is basically all that happens. Like, nothing really happens, bro. Like, I think I like the initial concept more. From just the computer side, as far as, like, everything being false reality, and is a guy living in between. Like, I like that idea more so than, they got finessed again, basically, where it's just like, yes, they created peace, but it's just like still more of the same. I don't know. I gotta think more about it, but I'll come out with my Matrix review sometime this week. I did do a No Way Home review last week. That dropped. It was like I only dropped 2 videos last week. That was the podcast and that was the review. So, yeah. But the next thing I want to talk about is Wheel of Time, bro. Wheel of Time is a show I've been trying to watch for like the last 2 weeks, and I finally got into it because it starts off super slow. Bro, and it's finally getting like really good. People said it gave me Game of Thrones vibes, but I never watched Game of Thrones, so it's just like giving me what the time vibes. Like I understand what people are saying, because you got like the different houses, and for this one you got like the different colored sisters or whatever. Like as far as like red, yellow, green, blue, and yeah, that's all I got. But that's dope. I think the casting is pretty cool. I don't know a lot of these actors prior to this, so it's cool to see just like to see their chemistry and stuff like that. For me right now, the thing I'm most interested in is not so much who the dragon is going to be, but it's just like, if they pose the idea if it was going to be all 5 of them, right? So if it's like more than one person, because they all seem to have been able to have powers except for Rand, right? And I'm spoiling some stuff if you don't know anything about it, but it's just like we keep rehashing stuff throughout these episodes. Like they're making progress, but it's like every few steps forward we take more steps back, in a sense, right? But now I feel like we finally got our feet in front of us as far as like where I'm at in the story, because I think it's like maybe 8 episodes and I think I'm on 6, so I still got some catching up to do. But I'm definitely enjoying this show, and I understand why people like it, because it has like a mix of just like medieval times with also supernatural powers, like the girls are like Avatar, Avatar Aang, they're airbending, they can use fire, things like that. There's different monsters and a whole bunch of crazy demon stuff. It's wild, bro. The show is wild, and it's just like suspenseful. You know what I'm saying? Like they really build up that tension in that show, and I like it a lot. But the last thing I wanted to talk about is Insecure, the finale, right? And I really feel like my initial takes on Insecure for this season was coming from a place where I just was in denial that it was going to end, right? Like I wanted so much so early, like, because the way that this show ended, to me it ended safe, right? It ended in a way where you can go back and watch this story happen all over again. Like, and that's one thing about shows that is really hard, is to end the show. Like how are you going to end it, right? And I feel like that's one of the weird things that hurt Neo Resurrections or not Neo, but Matrix Resurrections or whatever, because it's just like, like we already ended it off on a weird note, but now we're gonna make it even wilder and bring these characters back and see if we could do it better, right? And it's really hard to accomplish that, but I think Issa Rae and everybody over there made it happen, bro. Like these last few episodes where a lot of time passed, it made a lot of sense, because that's just how the nature of like relationships as you get older happen, right? You start seeing your friends that you used to hang out with all the time, like every single day, less and less, and it felt like a real story with real people, and there was loss, there was new love found. There's a lot of just growth in general from just basically all these characters, and they focus a lot in the finale on birthdays, right? Because like that's the one day out the year, you know what I'm saying, you could like that somebody feels, I guess, a right to feel special, you know what I'm saying, or whatever you want to call it. Like that's their one day, and depending on how you look at birthdays in general, but like they made sure to make time for each other for those days, and also like life was happening at the same time, you know what I'm saying. Kelly got pregnant, freaking Molly got married, Lawrence and Issa got back together, which something I was not expecting, you know what I'm saying. Like it shows that time technically heal all or whatever, like initial shock of things of like, because they all knew what they really wanted, right? But it just takes time for those things to happen, you know, and you're gonna face things along the way, and it's just like a really good representation of like what life is really like, at least like from what, you know, they had shown on there, you know. And I think it just ended in a really good way, and I think it's gonna age really well. Like I can definitely see myself going back and watching this series over again, because like the first initial 4 seasons, like they can like you can fly through them, right? But this last season, you really got to sit with it, you know. And the episodes are a lot shorter, and it's not as fast paced, but a lot is happening. A lot of major moments is happening over a long period of time. Like years have passed in this season, you know. Like in past seasons, it's only been a year, if that. Like it could have been just a summer, you know. But like this show is freaking great, bro. It's great, and it wasn't until it was over that I really got that. You know, because for me, like initially I was looking for like some like a lot of messy drama type stuff, and I was just like, nah, I don't have to be like that. You know, like if they try to do that much, it's not, the show might not end in a good way, and I'd rather have a good ending. Not in the sense of like, you know, everybody comes out happy, but just like in the sense of like everything makes sense. I'd rather have that than just a whole bunch of like unfinished work, I guess. But that's pretty much it for that. Let's get into the filler arc. So for the filler arc of this episode and the last filler arc of the year, I kind of just wanted to be like, you know, happy holidays, y'all. Like we done made it another year, bruh. Like I was saying before, this is the 48th episode of the podcast. We haven't missed a week, if I'm not mistaken, since we done started, you know. And it's crazy to think like, yo, we done did 48 of these things. Like that's crazy. Like time, like when you do something like consistently, time be flying, bro. But it's just like, you know, at the same time, you got to sit back and enjoy these moments and enjoy the people around us, and just like slow down. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's what this last week, because December for me is always, and probably everybody else is always crazy, because initially first, like, you know, like I was grinding, right? Like for like even through Thanksgiving and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, all right, grinding, birthday hit, right? Boom. Then Christmas hit, boom. Now New Year's is about to hit, boom. It's just like, you know, back to back weeks, where it's just like, you know, a lot is happening, but you know, you also got to give yourself those times where it's like, okay, just live a little bit, right? You can't just work, like continue to like run yourself into the ground. And I knew it was getting bad because I stopped writing in my notes, right? I stopped writing like my daily stuff in my notes, because it's just a lot of moving parts, bro. A lot of stuff happened. I was trying to do everything, and once you get into that mode of like, all right, just chill out, you know what I'm saying, sit back, relax. Like that's when I caught up on a lot of shows, because I was like, bro, I'm gonna just sit here and watch, you know, like not streaming last week and not making no videos. Like it made me want to come back even stronger. So I'm excited for like hopefully this week, you know, and like all the stuff that I want to talk about, because I got like a lot of stuff that is in the tuck still that I still gotta edit. But you know, we got the GRWTH Awards that's happening this Friday. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be dope. That's the first time we're doing that, first time event type thing. And we're gonna be, you know, giving out the awards for best anime, best show, best movie of the year, and y'all gonna be able to participate in that. So like I've been making stuff for that, and it's just been a lot. It's been a lot, bro, and I'm excited for just next year because like we done changed a lot in like just the content that we create, right? Like the beginning of the year, bro, I was going crazy on Call of Duty. Like that was my main focus was COD, bro. Like just trying to be the best COD player out there, you know, like, and just bringing my commentary to y'all and just the funny moments that we had on the game, bro. And I don't even play COD anymore. Like I knew I wasn't gonna play this COD, but like we went from gaming heavy to gaming and talking about shows and movies and stuff a little bit, then to like mainly just talking about movies and anime, like it shows and stuff we talking about, bro. And like we building a community around that. And I just appreciate y'all like coming through every single time on the stream, on YouTube, in the comments, IG, Instagram, Twitter. I say Instagram, IG, but yeah, y'all know what I mean. Like even TikTok, bro. You know, like it's crazy. Like now we're building a community everywhere, right? But we just like I'm trying to bring everybody together. So like that's why like next year I'm gonna definitely go hard on stream because I just think this is a good place to actually, you know, do that. And I'm saying this now, but like 3 o'clock is gonna be our time, bro. 3 o'clock to like 3:30, like around that time, like that's when we're gonna start every day, or at least every stream. You know, cause we make content on the weekends, but like, yeah. I'm really excited for next year, bro. I think we finna go crazy. And I think this podcast, like we're gonna have more guests on the podcast, and more collabs, and hopefully I get on some other podcasts and things like that. That'd be dope. And just a lot of plans, bro. And it's 2022 is gonna be lit, bro. It's gonna be lit. So that's all I got, man. I need to go drink some water, bro. And that's gonna do it for this episode, man. Last episode of the year. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like the episode, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, rate and follow the podcast on your favorite podcast platforms. Follow the Instagram and Twitter at @YI'mGeeked. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video, man. Y'all know the vibes. Always keep growing. See you on your boy G, and I'm gone. Peace. Dang, I know they like that video, bro. That's crazy. I can't wait to see the comment. Whoa, what are you still doing here? Well, since you're here, you might as well hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, because if you didn't, what are we really here for? If you're still here at this point, you probably still want to know and talk more about it. So come through on the Twitch stream, man. Twitch.tv/Ginato Sensei. I want to see you in the chat. Let me know you came from YouTube, and we could talk about today's video, discuss anime, movies, films. Y'all already know what it is, bro. Wait, that's still not it? Oh, I know what it is. You was wondering about this drip right here. Well, you can check that out on IG, Growth Apparel. That's Growth Apparel, GRWTH. It's on the screen right now. So go copy you a tee, man. I'm gonna see y'all in chat. I'm gonna see y'all in these comments. I appreciate y'all once again. Y'all already know I rocks with you, bro. I'm out of here. You still here? Ah, y'all gang.